A large population in today's day, we find that they tend to say that they are not happy, etc., and they have a tendency to commit suicide. Now, what is this suicide and why do they attempt to do it? Whilst there are various definitions that you will find in Wikipedia and over the internet, I think more important to understand is that these people who tend to commit suicide, they are more prone to it for reasons that they feel something is not working good in their life. The most important thing when we speak to these people is that we find that they don't even understand life. Something is not going right, something have not gone right, they will tend to commit suicide. They will try to focus all those problems in their life that is not going right. If there are 1,000 things that is not going right for them, they would say that for those reasons they would like to commit suicide. But these are the people who do not see that there are 2,000 people in their life or 2,000 incidents in their life that are actually going great. They tend not to see that. Whilst there are various forms of suicides that are available, but I think what is more important to understand for today's generation is that suicide is not a solution. It is just an act of destroying your body for no reasons. Whilst if there is a rare disease, that could not be cured, etc., that have to be handled in a different way. But not that if certain things are not going right, if there are certain issues, people commit suicide. No. Whilst we have also seen that there are some people who always have a suicidal nature that they have. Now, whatever coaching that you do, whatever mentoring that you do, they over and over again, they would tend to talk about suicide and more. Now, probably these are those people, where their softwares are not appropriate and over they tend to get shut down. Whilst in general, we also have seen people, there are a certain amount of people, who always love speaking about suicide. Now, these are the people where you do not really need to worry more. But again, mind you, these are also the people where their intent is to disturb their surrounding, disturb their friends, relatives by doing small here and there things, but at times it becomes big and then they fall in trouble. So there are various forms and norms of suicide that we have seen. Spiritually, when there are certain actions that are already finished in the body and the prarabdha karma have reached to an extent, then the body knows how to pass on. I would not discuss that in length here because there would be a lot of misunderstandings and misconceptions on a half knowledge of that. But what I'm just trying to convey is that suicide is never a solution. It is important to live life and live well. Try to see the positive sides, lot of good things, lot of good changes that comes to your life. I see that there are people who really resist change. Now, people who resist change, they have somewhere inhibition in the mind that they will not upgrade their softwares. And hence, they fall bad about their life. They feel bad about themselves, etc., etc. In certain scenarios, in certain cases, in certain places, we find that there are a lot of suicides that have happened, whether it's in India or abroad. And these are the places where you call as haunted places. Now, suicide in general is not a very good thing for the soul. Rather, I would say it's a very tormenting thing for the soul, and the soul hovers around if the software have not come to the expiry date, if the prarabdha karma have not finished. If the life journey has a lot of fuel in it, and if it is broken down, that fuel have to burn somewhere. And that's exactly what it happens. It moves on and on, and people call it a haunted place, and people scared to go there. They hear sounds, senses, etc., etc. You don't need to do much about the place, but you need to do about that soul that have departed. And thereby you have to know how to release that soul off. But it is usually a very tormenting thing for the suicidal soul, because the fuel was still there and it just have stopped the journey of life. So it is very important for all of us to understand that it's a joy to live a joyful life. It's a great pleasure to see all the good things that are happening around us, and not something that have not been as per what we want and someone wants to commit suicide. Suicide is not a solution at all. It is just an act of breaking the pathway that you were intended to move on, and you broke it off. Who knows, today things are not in your favor, tomorrow it will be in your favor. I have seen people who have worked harder in life, who have known to adapt change, things have started falling in place for them, and it is bound to happen like that. So for all who is listening to this, it's extremely crucial that you know how to calibrate, manage and run your life effectively, then end your life.